All right. A to the L to the I to the Z to the E, and it's all on me. And we are back with your daily dose of Legendary Z. All right. So, what I wanted to talk about today was I wanted to really focus on when I had made the video yesterday when I was talking about these patterns that I have undergone or I'm seeing and realizing. I want to share something with you all. I want to let you know that when I was at a very young age, I lost my voice. I'm not being realistic, okay? But the reason I lost my voice, and I will get into what happened over the years of me losing my voice. I lost my voice because at that moment, I knew that I hit a very low level in my life. And I knew that me having other people making the decisions for me and to decide which direction that I would go, because I didn't know what direction I wanted to move in. I was unaware of what I wanted to do with my life. I felt like a failure for so many years. Um, I didn't like how I would fail in school, how I would go to school, and I never took it serious. I never took school serious at all. When I was in high school, I just went there to just play around. And there were some classes that I did enjoy. I had literature. Literature was my favorite subject. I enjoyed literature, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, these are one of the lines from one of the essays that I wrote, okay? And this is how I knew that when I had found my gift, okay? My first gift, all right? So I'm just going to tell you this real quick. I remember, revenge is like a sugary taste that dances upon my thoughts. I came up with this when I was writing about Shakespeare's Macbeth play, okay? And everyone always says they know Shakespeare, but everyone wants to mention Romeo and Juliet. Macbeth was my favorite one, okay? We used to act that out. And I felt like literature was like so interesting to me. Not only did we read books, because I love to read so much. We read a lot of books, but we also acted those books out. Like I read the Odyssey. Okay, I don't know if a lot of you have ever heard of the Odyssey, but the Odyssey is actually a college book. And the school that I went to, it was called Bright Star Secondary Charter Academy, and it was a college-bound school. They would help you to apply for scholarships, and you would eventually get into a college, and that's how you would actually graduate. Okay, so it was more of a tough school, but I never really took it serious. And my dad did put me in it, but he didn't want me to go to Fremont, or he didn't want me to go to any other school in LA that was in South Central. He wanted me to go to a good school, and I didn't really take advantage of the opportunity. And I feel like I did let him down when I didn't graduate. I let my family down because I didn't culminate. It was a very good school. And when I posted that video of me talking about my dad and stuff like that, this is not for me to get any type of hate about my dad. No, absolutely not. My dad, honestly, I look up to him because he has not only changed his life around, but he is a very good man. He is. Despite what I had went through in my past with my dad, I will honestly say that I wouldn't change anything because my brothers and sisters, they're good. You know what I'm saying? And one thing he would do is provide. Always provide the meals, you know. I had clothes on my back, shoes and stuff like that. I had a place to stay. So, just to let you know, please do not be in the comments disrespecting my dad. I will not condone of that. I really won't. But this is me. The title of this is going to be my growing period, because this is exactly what this is, my growing period. And when I was younger, like when I was in high school, like I said, it was a very good school. I didn't take it serious. I didn't. No, I didn't. And I was always hanging out with the wrong people. I was hanging out with people who made me feel low, who made me feel like I was never good enough or I was worthless. Um, and I would do for those people. I would be there for those people. I was nice to those people, okay? And it's crazy how you would think that like certain uh, uh, um, energy you would allow in, these are people that I can actually, see till the end. But no, that wasn't how it was. In fact, they were all lies, okay? Except for this one person that I had met, and I believe I had mentioned her before, and that was when I had became or followed into Christianity when I was in school, okay? So going back, when I was in school, the only classes I would probably take serious was literature and creative writing, because I enjoyed creative writing, I enjoyed literature, and it was fun. I will say this though, I failed literature 11 on purpose. Lit 11, I did fail lit 11. I had to take literature 12 and literature 11 when I was in my senior year of high school. I failed lit 11 on purpose because I wasn't really giving it my all. I wasn't, I will never forget this one teacher. Her name was Mrs. Averback. I will never forget her because she was amazing. I'll get to that. I'll get to that. But this is going to be a story I want to tell y'all, all right? So it's a point to this. So anyway, basically, we when we were in lit 11, okay, when I was taking lit 11, when I was in 11th grade, I was taking lit 11. I really, I didn't take it serious. Like I failed it. I failed it on purpose. Okay, I would just play around. I was always that person in school that would just play around. I really didn't, I really didn't take nothing serious, that anything that I was doing. Until that report card came out, then that report card is what got me in a whole lot of trouble because my report card was bad. I had bad report cards. I was always a D student and a F student, okay? I would rarely get C's and B's. Like the first time, let me go to the beginning a little bit. Because what you had to do to get into this school, you had to take a test. And the test is where it's a placement test, and they will place you in your actual grade of where you'll go, or they'll place you in elements. And elements was basically a program. They would call us the ungifted program. They would call us stupid. But it wasn't where people who were dumb would go. It's just people who needed extra help in curriculum activities, okay? That could have been math, that could have been English, that could have been Spanish, whatever you needed whatever you needed help in. But it wasn't actually, I take back, Spanish. It was actually just math, and it was English. Oh, and science. So I failed the placement test and I had to go to elements. Okay, that was on the. I have to pause because it just. Come on. Okay, here we go. So that was on the left side of the building. All right. And elements, okay, elements was where I was at. And I was, they had PE, okay, we had PE, and I'm gonna tell you, I was good in PE, no lie. I was always a fast runner when I was in like middle school, elementary, but when I grew up, I started to get fat. I used to be very skinny, like I didn't eat like that, okay. And at one point in my life, I had a 4-pack. I remember this. But I'm gonna be real. I never like. I really like me. I was always. I didn't like. I wasn't really into eating. Like when I was younger, it was bad because I wasn't eating. I was very skinny. But anyway, so moving on. So we had PE, we had science. I had there was I think it was literature. I believe it was literature or English. Okay, English literature. Same thing. My bad. So you had English literature and then you had math, okay? Now, math was always my weakest subject. It was always my weakest subject. Math, I was never ever good at math. The only math that I could probably possibly say that I was actually good at, that I actually put my all into when I did get older, okay, and I went to Job Corps, was geometry. Geometry is easy. People will say that algebra is easier than geometry. Geometry, to me, it was more easy. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, if you gave me a packet of geometry, I'm going to solve it. No, I got to go back. I got to recap. I got to study. But anyway, okay. So basically, um, I went over to Elements and I was there, but then I did good. I had great grades. And what really got me, like, my dad got me like my first cell phone. I'll never forget when, I don't know if y'all remember the LG 3G when that first came out, like the purple phone and stuff like that. Okay, that phone, I remember me and one of my homegirls from way back when, we had the same one, okay? And that's how I would get, like, my dad would give me, like, I would get, like, a cell phone or probably a video game. If I did good, especially in school, and my grades were good, because my grades were excellent when I was in Elements. I was excellent, okay? But as soon as I went and they transferred me and I went actual to the actual school, like the actual Bright Star, and I went into my actual classes, okay? I repeated the ninth grade. I wasn't supposed to, but I didn't say anything. I just went on. Because at that point, when I was going, it was a lot of things that was affecting me in my personal life, but it really had to do mostly within myself as well. But it was also with my dad and grandmother. But I think I really disappointed them when I didn't graduate high school. And that was a big disappointment because you're expecting your children to walk the stage and, you know, it's like, oh, the graduation's coming up, and then you hear that your child's not graduating. It's like, what? Like, I would be hurt too, okay? And, like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, for my prom, okay, yes, I went to prom, and ladies, let me tell you, that dress, them heels, okay, I'm sorry, but I had to. I look good. Let's just say that, baby. I had the hair, everything, okay? But so basically, when I was like going through this phase, like, there were certain people that I did meet when I was in high school, and there were certain people that, I would surround myself with the wrong ones. And people, like they say, okay, I said in my last video, uh show me who you with, and I'll tell you who you are. They say this is important, and the reason this is important is because I hung around the wrong crowd for so long, and I've always been the person that would get into the wrong crowd and not realize that until after the fact. And I was very gullible. I was easy to manipulate. I was the person that was just, I wasn't a leader. I was a follower. Okay, for many years of my life, I've been a follower. I have. I'm not afraid to say that. And this is just the truth. And this is me being honest. And this is a point to this because through this growing period that I'm going through and what I'm facing as of right now, facing like my life, it may seem like they say many people spend years on working on themselves. This is true, but not a lot of people at a certain age or at a certain, time, they're going to realize certain patterns in their life. Not everyone realizes that. Some people just go through life and they continue to do the same things over and over again, and they never find the problem. And there always has to be the problem. And then when you find the problem, you then look at the solution of what you can do to change that problem. That's how I see it in my perspective. This is just me going based off of what I've experienced. And the experiences of what I was witnessing was, at one point, there was a friend of mine that cared very so much about me. And like I said, I wasn't a very good friend. I never really even understood the true definition of a friend. Calling people and telling them about my problems, but never asking them how they felt about their problems, or felt about how they were, or asked them how they were feeling. Always being selfish and asking about how Alizé is, or saying, oh, I need help with this, or blowing someone off. I used to do that to a friend of mine, and her name will remain anonymous for respect out of her. And I was wrong for how I treated her. And I realized that there was a lot of karmic loops that now I am experiencing and I'm facing because of the things that I have done to others. And that's one thing that I want to say in this video. I made this video because I woke up this morning and I was thinking about, not only was I affirming subconsciously, but I woke up really thinking that I am not changing um, for, just to get a praise, but I am changing because I'm seeing that the people that I thought were my friends were the ones that would tell me what I would want to hear, but not what I needed to hear. And I'm going to make a video, probably another video as well, on constructive criticism and why it is important on constructive criticism, but just not only constructive criticism, but honest feedback from a person. Okay, no one has ever been honest with me. Half of my life and my years of growing up, people have lied to me. People have told me lies, and what I thought was getting fed a lie was way better than getting fed the truth. But honestly, when it took for someone to tell me at the age of 23 and at the age and the route that I was going, it was a lot of people telling me, there were people that were in my ear telling me that you need to change or you're going to lose people around you or you're going to continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. The only person that possibly really did get to me was honestly my godmother. She got to me, but she didn't get to me. I didn't want to hear, I don't like hearing, Alizé, this is what you need to hear. This is what you need to listen to. Sitting down and watching Iyanla Vanzant and looking at the placements in my life and looking at how I would blame other people or try to look for an escape without taking full responsibility for my actions. I don't know the difference between a good person and a bad person, but what I do know is just because you do good things, that does not make you a good person. And just because you do bad things, that does not make you a bad person. It doesn't. But it does show your character, and your character is the most important thing. So please, take it from someone who has been down this road and still going through it, but changing in the process. It took for my godmother to show me that look at how you are. This is terrible. I wish that I had a video of how I could show you how you act, for you to see that you need to change and you're going to lose people around you. And the truth hurts. The truth does hurt. But it helps you see things. Those reactions of me reacting in a negative way over and over again just because I was upset at something that someone said that honestly deep down inside could possibly be true, I chose the defensive route. I chose to be defensive. I chose to just look at it as, oh, well, this person's trying to make me feel this kind of way. But it's not that they're trying to make me feel any kind of way. They're trying to tell me the truth. But I don't know what the truth is because I've been told and fed many lies. But it was my responsibility to not seek the truth from others, but to seek the truth from myself. Because I knew what was true. I knew what I was doing was not going to lead me to the promised land, was not going to lead me to lead me to a better place in my life. Okay? And when I was younger, I never took these things seriously. I'm still young. Yes, I know I'm 24. Oh, you just a baby. No, or oh, you're okay. You still young. You ain't hit it yet. You ain't got it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be. Your age does not decipher your mentality. I've always felt that your age does not decipher your mentality. It doesn't. Nor does your age matter if you want to make a change. You could be a very young age and be very intelligent. Wisdom, you can be very wise. And it doesn't involve just being book smart. Intelligence does not only involve you being book smart, but it's you having a lot of wisdom and growing within your spirituality and your spirit and realizing your mistakes and your faults and your wrongs and taking full responsibility for those actions and changing those actions, changing those mistakes and making a difference in your life. That's what makes you really intelligent. That's what makes you an actual, the kind of being. And I'm going to tell you another thing. In my perspective, this is what I feel. Because I feel everyone will, like I said, everyone sees and perceives knowledge in a different way. Not everyone is going to think the same or have the same perspective. And that is okay. That is why we are beautiful natural beings that were put and placed on this planet to evolve, because each individual has a different perception of life. And each individual that has a different perception of life, that can help another person in the process of growing. So remember that it doesn't matter what age you are, we are all in that evolving process. And we all have something that we need to learn on a day-to-day basis. But it's up to us whether we want to ignore it and be negligent, or we actually want to choose to take that route and actually go down that road. My godmother told me that you will have to face yourself. You will have to face the ugly truth and the worst part of who you were or who you are, and see the things that you don't like about yourself. And then you will have to say, are you willing to accept this? What are you willing to change? What are you willing to do? Throughout my years of in high school, I will say what hurt me the most was not getting my high school diploma, not graduating and culminating with those people, with my actual friends. It hit me hard like lightning could hit somebody and kill them. It hit me hard because I knew that it was something in my mind that kept telling me, okay, you keep playing around, you're not going to graduate. And I didn't. I did get to walk the stage though, because I had enough credits to move on. Not enough credits. We didn't go by credits. They went by A through G, A through B. It was like how they would explain it. We didn't have credits in our school. It was different. So I had enough, like my grades, because they found out I repeated the 9th grade. So I was able to, graduate. I just didn't get my high school diploma. And I made a second attempt to get it, and I messed up again. But then throughout everything that I had faced, I realized that going back to school was something that I did want to do. I was thinking that I didn't want to go back to school, okay? I was like, no, I got a job already. Why should I do this? I think I really went back to get my high school diploma because I wanted to prove to myself that no matter what I had to do to get it, that I could do it. And I believe that is one of the biggest accomplishments that... Come on. It froze again. Okay, here we go. Snap my fingers on this thing. Those are one of the biggest accomplishments that I could have done, okay? And achieved. And the reason I said that is a big accomplishment for me, going back to school to get my high school diploma. I went back to school twice. Okay? It was the same thing. When I went to opportunities, OFL, opportunities for learning, I failed then. Okay? And then through this, I got it at 20. So when I finally went to Family First Charter Academy, which was in Lawndale, I went there, and I remember, I forgot her name, but she wanted me to graduate. I will say this, she wanted me to graduate. She wanted me to walk the stage, and I told her no, because I got the diploma. I got everything that I needed to get. So I was like, why should I? But before I even get to that, one thing she did tell me, she said, Alize, are you willing to, whatever you have to do to make up all your credits, are you willing to do that to get your high school diploma? I said, if it's math, if it's algebra, I will stay studying all night. And let me tell you something. I didn't eat, okay? I woke up every morning, and my grandma, not my granny and my grandma are two different things. My granny is my dad's mom, and my grandma was my mom's grandmother, okay? And she was next door, okay? I know it's cool. You got your granny and then your grandma living next door. I know, because grandma probably be over there on the side of town. I have my grandma next door. But anyway, so I was living with my grandma. She took me in when I was homeless and I had nowhere to go. So my whole thing was this, okay? I didn't eat. I woke up every morning so determined to get to school, to go back to school and get my high school diploma. Food was not on my mind. I didn't eat. I went to school, and I remember when she told me, she says, Alize, to be honest, you don't, all you have to do is just choose 2 electives that you want to do and you can get your high school diploma. She said, because I remember when I was in Bright Star, I did take summer school, okay? I took summer school and I did algebra. Now let me tell you something. I'm the kind of person where if I don't try something, then I don't get it. I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna tell you this story, man. I gotta give it to y'all. I gotta give it to y'all. I am very, very big on procrastinating and not doing my best. Not putting in as much effort as I should put in because I know that I can do so much better. I have always been this kind of person, okay? And so when I was taking algebra, okay, and geometry, I failed geometry all because of something that happened in my personal life. Because things were going on in my personal life that I would let that affect my schooling. And that's something that I want you to remember. If whoever is watching this video, whoever sees this, please, do not let your personal life affect you in you being successful, because that is the biggest mistake. And that is something that I made, and I will never forget it. I will never forget it. I took geometry twice and I failed it twice. I could have passed, and I failed it again. So when I was in summer school, I did summer schooling, okay? My grandmother and my dad were upset because they was like, you shouldn't have to do this. You could have been doing your work. But I would come home, I wouldn't study. I would just go straight to my phone. I was obsessed with my phone. I had to have my phone on me 24/7. I had to be looking up stuff. I had to be talking on the phone. Now, I really don't go on my phone unless I'm only trying to meditate, or if I'm looking up videos and I'm only looking up videos of affirmations, not affirmations, but watching like manifesting coaches or YouTube, or if I want to hit some exercises, okay, or not even just that. I'm looking up information to find, to learn about or research. I don't be on my phone like that. I honestly don't. That's something that I can honestly say and stay true to, because I really don't. I'm not on my phone like that. So before, I used to be a phone freak. So I used to have to always have my phone on me 24/7. I'm talking. I'm like, hey, girl. No studying, no nothing. I didn't care about school. School was not important to me. What was school important to me for? So what? Now I know I'm not going to sit here and say that school is not, don't go to school and fail. That is not something you want to do. Because the worst thing you could ever do is not even the worst. To me, is going to do something and you not finishing it. You starting it and you not finishing it. That is something that's not good. That's something that's not good, okay? So anyway, I did summer school and I did algebra. Now, for some reason, I don't know how I passed it, but the reason I say that is because even throughout the studying, I had a friend of mine. She was helping me study, and we were studying together, Algebra 1. And I realized that algebra was easy. I was like, oh, wow, are you serious? So I would go home, study, and I passed algebra. So when the teacher, when the not the teacher, the principal, when she showed me in Family Charter Academy, she told me, she said, look, she said, Alize, you've passed algebra. One of our requirements is Algebra 1. You have to pass that in order to culminate to get your high school diploma. And you also have to pass, I think it was, I also had to have the credits for literature, either literature like English, I think. And she said, you have enough credits. All you have to do is take 2 electives. I only took 2 electives, okay? And since I already, because they had to take a certain test for them at their school to actually culminate. And I think it was when, y'all know when the KC came out, when they had the KC, then the government stopped the KC. Yeah, so it was like that. But the only thing was, I passed the KC in the past. The many times I took the KC, girl, let me tell you something. I said, girl, well, let me tell you something. I took the KC probably like 3 times. I never took the SAT. I heard some people cry taking the SAT. I was like, dang. But anyway, so I took it. I already took it and I passed it. So they gave me my high school diploma. But what she wanted me to do was, she said, don't you want to feel that, don't you want to go to graduation? Don't you actually want to walk across the stage? Actually, Alize, you actually did it this time. You put in the effort and you did it. She was like, don't you want to do that? And I remember someone told me, you need to start practicing what you preaching. I will give a person advice but never take my own. And then I'm trying to figure out, how could I help make that person's life way better, but I can't even help make my own. And I remember that someone telling me, you gotta take your own advice. And I think that's what I've always feared, is taking my own advice, because me actually putting it into action and actually taking it for what it is. Now I'm seeing that it's time for me to take my own advice and listen to myself and listen to spirit and what spirit is telling me. Okay. So anyway, what going on? So basically, I was mad when I got my high school diploma. I wasn't mad at the fact that I got it. I'm saying I was mad because I knew there was more to do. My anger is what drove me. Okay. My anger is what drove me to want to do better. That sounds so weird. And I'm not telling you to be angry all the time to drive you to want to do better. But it made me want to be more persistent. And it made me want to persist in what I was going through, and instead of trying to, stop here, I needed to do more. And so I did get a job. I was looking for a job, and I did do security, but it wasn't full time the way I wanted it to, and it was on the weekends. And then I got me a second job, and then I met with this cool person, and we've been friends since then, and he is so sweet. He is amazing. I even told him that at my wedding he will be the one that will hand me the ring so I can put it on my wife's finger. So anyway, so he literally is the most amazing person ever. Okay. And if you can, go to his YouTube channel, Crenshaw Grizz, subscribe to him. His music is off the charts. I like his music. He's really good. He's an upcoming artist, you know what I'm saying? And he's really out here. Him and his sister made a really cool song. I think it's called Sapphire. I think that's the name of it. But he makes really good music. He's a friend of mine, and because of him, I could have not gotten into Job Corps. Okay, because if it wasn't for him, I could not have gotten into Job Corps, and that's just what it is. So when I met him, he was there for me, and at the time, I was going through many situations, and I was going through a lot because mentally I was damaged, emotionally I was damaged. But one thing that I wasn't damaged was making that bread. Okay, I'm serious. I was really, like, I was hustling. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be real with you. Right now, I'm working on actually getting my permit, and then my godmom will teach me how to drive. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all could talk how you want. You can say what you want. How are you 24 and you don't know how to drive? Yeah, I know. I understand. I get it. I don't have time. I mean, you can say what you want. I mean, hey, there was a lot of setbacks in my life, then I take full responsibility for that. So that's my fault. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my number one goals, and that's just what it's gonna be before the end of this year. My number one goal is to make sure that I am able to know how to drive and all of that. Cause my godmom was trying to teach me, but my anxiety was getting up the roof. She was like, "Why are you so scared to back out?" I have anxiety really bad, so when I get anxiety, I get hot. I have a hot feeling, and I start to get, my body temperature rises, and I overheat. Okay. So anyway, going on, if it wasn't for him, I could have, man, it was a lot. Like, Job Corps changed my life. It changed my life for the better. Okay. I went in there and I felt like I was somebody. I felt energized. I felt awakened. I felt like, oh, I'm here. I can do what I want. I came in there feeling like I was going to own the world. And I'm not saying to put other people down, but I came in there ready. I came in there ready to learn. I came in there ready to do what I needed to do to change my life around. And I did. Job Corps changed my life. Job Corps helped me to see that, what, it is a place out there for you. And you can do so much better. You can become so much better. Although I became a nursing assistant and I will never become one again. I'm sorry, but no, absolutely not. They say, go ahead, you want to have something under your belt. I will never go back to being a nursing assistant. It was the worst experience of my life because of the place that I was at, and it was just, it's not the patience. It, no, I didn't like doing the things that I had to do. I knew I signed up for that. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a nursing assistant because I wanted to become a nurse. I had a dream board. I had a dream board that I created when I was in Job Corps, and I wanted to be a nurse, and I wanted to do that. I wanted to become a wound specialist. There's a lot of things that I wanted to do, but for some reason I wasn't realizing that when I met my friend, my god brother Christian, he actually helped me to see that you have many talents and you can do so much better. Okay, even though I said I don't want to do real estate, even because I don't want to be a real estate agent, because I feel like it's just not something I want to do. I'm honestly will just take the test to have it, just to have it, because you never know. So still doing that. So my whole thing is, um I he helped me to realize that there's other talents. There's other things. What are your dreams? What are, not dreams, but what are you good at? What is something you're good at? He said you could be good at this. You could be good at. He always tells me I could see you doing this even with music, okay? I have put music on the back burner because we used to drop songs. We used to do music. My rap name is Legend Z. You know what I'm saying? We used to freestyle. We used to do a lot. Like, I met him through freestyling, okay? At Job Corps, and I was never really, I was told, like, do you write your raps? I said, no, I don't write my raps. I don't write rhymes. I don't do that. I used to rap when I was a kid. I'm gonna tell you how a little flow used to go. Yo, my name is Alizé and I don't play. That was the old version. Okay. Now it's more of like, let me see. Uh, I got a bigger vision, and now I'm. Hold on, cause I don't. Hold on. I have a bigger vision, and yes, I'm on a mission. I'm manifesting everything I want. Like something like that. So what I'm saying is, no, you can say what you want in the comments. I've never done this before. Okay. So anyway, I used to, like, when I got older, I seen like talents I was blinded to. There was things that I was blinded to, okay? So, like, I want to say, don't start something and, like I said, the biggest thing is starting something and not finishing it. I'm not saying that, okay, I may not go back to music. Music, I actually do love music. But now, what I actually do love, and what was the first thing I wanted to do, was this. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to put out videos. I wanted to do content. So I told myself, like, there's other gifts and talents that I do have and possess, even with writing. I'm currently writing a book about my life. I was trying to write a book about, the 12 universal laws of philosophy, and I'm probably still going to finish that, but I feel like one thing what kind of touched me is, why don't I just tell the world who I am from my view and how I see it, my perception? This is my life. This is the story of Alizé Mills. This is the story of the person that, not me going through hardships and challenges through my life and facing things and realizing that I have to, come to a point of change and growth, but becoming that woman that I want to be, and having that willpower, not to write this book for sympathy, but I want to tell people about the story of my life. The failed attempts, the lacking, the procrastination, always giving up, willing to give up. Like I made in my last video, 5 ways to become successful. My uncle, he told me, like, when I was riding a bike and I didn't want to keep riding it because I kept falling. And I remember him saying, are you going to keep failing? Is that how you're going to do? You're going to fail your way through life. But are you going to fall and just give up and walk away? So I got back on that bike and I rode. I fell again, but I got up. Okay. So this video is really just me saying this. There's going to be things that we look back. We're going to look back at moments in our life where we felt like I could have did that differently. Or why didn't I do that differently? Or why did I do that to that person? Or why was I like that? We're going to have those experiences, but that does not mean that we stop there. We don't just look back and dwell on it, but we look at it and we say, okay, like Les Brown said, if I had knew any better, then I would have done better. So now that I know better, I can do better. Okay? So, what I wanted to say in this video is we all looking for a way. We're all looking for a way to change our lives and to really make a difference. And some of you might not agree, and that's okay. I'm not here to change anyone's perspective. I'm just here to put out what I feel and what I need, should be, what I feel in my heart is what's needed to be said. So, this is me really taking this time to say that the mistakes that we have made, or what we have undergone in our lives, or at least the mistakes that I have made and what I've undergone in my life, I can honestly say that realizing it is the hard part. Not realizing it, but yeah, realizing it is the hard part, because it's like I'm realizing this, but it's not something that I want to dwell on. It's like I really feel like my life is beginning to shift, my reality and how I see things. I'm becoming a more humble person, more sensitive to others' needs, more honest, and I'm walking in that faith of honesty. And I'm not portraying an image that I know I'm not. And I'm admitting to my faults, and I'm admitting to me not being a perfect person, and admitting that I used to be fake. I used to be that kind of person that never really meant what they said, or said what they meant. But I was walking around like I was the queen of Sheba. I was walking around like I had it all made. I didn't have it all made. I still don't have it all made. I still will honestly say that, yes, I do need that support system of people that do support me and support me throughout my growth and what I am doing. It takes encouragement and humility to admit to what you've done, things that you know that you shouldn't have done, and taking ownership of those mistakes. So I sit here with you today, and I say, I'm not asking you to follow me. I'm not asking you to believe in me. I'm not asking for nothing. I am just a person who's normal like everyone else, who has a voice that has been silenced for many years. And now that I have chosen to speak. So who am I? I'm Alize Mills. I'm the woman that not only seeks change from the world, but seeks change within. The woman who has acknowledged her faults, her wrongs, her mistakes, her failed connections with many, many amazing people. But the woman who is now challenging herself every single day to become a better being for herself and for her future family. The woman with willpower. who can endure many challenges throughout her life and still stand proud and say that I've made it. I'm not saying my life is worse than anyone's. I'm not saying that my life, excuse me, that no one else has a bad life. I never compete with anyone by saying, oh, oh, what is that? Excuse me. I never compete with anyone by saying, oh, I've had a bad life. And I've heard so many people tell me I've had a worse life than everyone here. It doesn't matter if you've had a worse life. It doesn't matter if whatever you had to go through. And I'm not saying that what you went through doesn't matter, meaning like, oh, if you went through sexual abuse or physical abuse, that don't matter. Who cares? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, how did you grow through it? What are the changes that you made? What is something that you've endured that pain, but what are you now? What have you become through that experience that you faced? That's what I'm seeing and learning myself. What have I become? Not what I went through. What am I becoming? What am I seeking to become? What changes and challenges? What am I doing? That's what I'm seeing, okay? That's what I'm seeing as of right now. And I'm not asking nobody to care. My whole thing is, I want to put my story out there. And I feel like me putting my story out there is going to help someone else. One thing I can say, when I was younger, I'm not saying I was a good person or a bad person. Okay, I'm not saying none of that. But what I'm saying is, one thing I can honestly remember about myself is when people would come to me in the time of need, in the time of grief, whatever they needed, if they needed a helping hand, I would extend my hand. I've always been that kind of person to be a service to other people. I have always done that, even to people who didn't deserve it. So I cannot say that I could say I was an a-hole, I was a B, I was all of that. But at the same time, I would always want to help people. And that was always my weakness, is to help another person. And what would heal my heart and what would make me feel good and heal the hidden scars that were inside of me, internally within my spirit, is me helping someone else. And I can say that this really did honestly change my perspective even until this day, because I remember this. Was when a guy told me, he came up to me and he said, Alize, what is faith? What is hope? What is hope to you? What does that mean? I said, hope is having faith. To me, I honestly feel that I was just giving it my own perspective. Okay? I said it's having faith and it's trusting in that process. That no matter what we go through, no matter what we are enduring in our life, that things are going to change. And for some reason, he told me, Alize, I just feel like I don't feel happy. I said, look, I told him, even if you have to pretend to be happy, baby, be happy. And I'm not saying, just be happy and da-da-da-da-da. I was just telling him from what I just thought, And, he ended up coming to me and smiling, and I'm like, and I remember his name. I think his name was Tomas. And so I'm like, he came up to me smiling, and I was just like, okay. And I said, how you doing? He said, I'm all right, I guess. I'm just smiling, I'm just gonna be happy. I said, wait, look, I don't want you to pretend to be. I was like, well, I felt like I gave him a little bit of bad advice when I told him to pretend to be happy. But come on, we all lie to ourselves, telling ourselves we ain't good at something. So that's lying to yourself there. So, eventually he ended up becoming happy over the time. And as he grew, he became happy. And I would see him. He's like, hey, Alize, how you doing? And I'm like, hey, what's going on? And then he's like, Alize, thank you for the advice. Thank you. You really changed my life. There's been a lot of people that have told me that I've changed their lives. I have helped them to see things from a different standpoint. And I remember them saying, why don't you take your own advice? I remember someone telling me that. But what I'm saying in this video, I have a whole point to all this mumbo jumbo, as though they would call it. I'm saying that I'm coming to you being vulnerable at a state, meaning that I'm letting go and I'm letting down my guard. And I'm saying that, y'all, Alize is not perfect. Alize is not this person who's just, she don't get stuff right or wrong all the time. Sometimes I make the mistake to get upset. I seek back into old habits. I do. I've done it. Yes. But I'm in the midst of evolving. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to go back to those old habits. I just had a relapse. But it's okay because I could just still jump back on the bandwagon. I don't care what anyone tells you or what anyone says. It's never too old. It's never too old. You're never too young and you're never too old to change. Don't let anyone tell you that, oh, you have to change within this certain amount of time or this, that, and the third. I don't believe that. I believe, honestly, it's up to you to make the change and it's up to you to make the choice. I didn't make this choice because I wanted to just, like I said, I didn't make this choice because I wanted people to praise me or because I wanted to be acknowledged. I made this choice because I seen that what I was becoming was going to lead me down the wrong path, and eventually I was going to end up losing everyone in my life. And that's something I didn't want to do, and that's something that I didn't want. And I needed to stop being, excuse me if I say this, but being a pussy and expecting people to hold my hand. Ain't nobody gonna hold my hand in this world. No one's gonna hold your hand. And my godmother gave it to me straight. Not everybody's gonna care how you feel or what you think, because it doesn't matter. Everyone has their own lives. They're living their own lives. And that's the most part that sucks. And I'm not saying that what you go through does not matter. It does matter. It matters to me because I don't know you and you don't know me. But I will say this. We all walk a different path, but don't make it seem like no one understands you. I used to say that to myself. No one understands me. But truthfully, I was manifesting that and no one really understood me because people thought I was crazy. They thought I was this person that just needed psychological help. And honestly, the suicidal thoughts that I would be thinking, because I had so many thoughts of, ending my life and not wanting to be here. Now I know what you might think. You're seeking attention. No, I'm not seeking attention. I'm just being real and I'm being honest. I never, man, because I suffer from depression, and when I think about these negative things, when I think about these things, it would get to me. But now I'm on this journey where I want to see things differently. I'm on this mental diet. I'm doing my affirmations daily. I'm waking up. I'm becoming, like I said, I'm being more humble. I'm being more sensitive to people's needs. I'm becoming the person I need to be. There's things I'm still working on. I'm still growing. Yes, I'm still working on. I'm evolving. This is personal development. This is not going to be something that's going to happen overnight, baby. But at the same time, I can say that I'm proud of myself and I've accomplished a lot of things. I am starting to accomplish a lot more in my life than I thought that I could or was able to in the past. And I'm seeing that, honestly, I'm taking this time to listen to people, to actually communicate better, to actually be able to do more. Well, I can work a little bit more on expressing myself, because when I express myself, it's not in a positive way. Meaning that when I don't really know how to express myself that well, the battery is low. So, I get upset. I'll probably just walk away. But, that's something that I'm still in. So this is me showing you my growing period, and every day we gonna get stronger and we gonna keep prevailing. I've decided that I'm still gonna do these videos of motivation and success and stuff like that, but I also want to do more videos on me and my life and what I'm doing and enduring, and to also tell you what works for me. What works for me is affirming that I forgive myself unconditionally. That's one of my affirmations. I forgive myself unconditionally. I forgive myself unconditionally. What works for me is affirming that I am wanted. Okay? I am sexy. I am attractive. That's what works for me. I'm saying that because that's in my affirmations. What works for me is affirming that I am trustworthy. I am not a bad person. And looking in the mirror and telling myself that you are no longer where you were, to use these grounding techniques that my therapist have given to me to stay within the present. Meaning, if I have to use my smell, my it's not your five senses, you have six senses. My five senses, we're going to say in psychology. Five senses, okay? And in order to bring me back so I don't have to weep or dwell over past mistakes, what works for me is reading books like this and books like this. Emotional Advantage, okay? What works for me is, you see that? This is my candle, my love candle. Taking the time to spend time with myself. Okay? And the reason I showed you the love candle, because I'll burn that sometimes. And I'll, tell myself I love myself and just, just feel the essence in the room. What works for me is, ooh, excuse me, going within myself and talking to spirit. Okay? And hearing that voice tell me truthfully what I need to hear. Not what I want to hear, but really truthfully what I need to hear. Going into a meditative state is what helps me. That's what works for me, you know. And learning on how to become a better person and actually learning what these things mean. And even if I have to, sometimes I'll ask my godmom for advice, but now it's up to me to really look within because she doesn't have all the answers. And I have the answers. So I have to really look within myself. So, therapy, this is what works for me. This is what helps me, is talking to my therapist when I do have those suicidal thoughts, or those thoughts that will tell me no one cares about you, this, that, and the third, is, calling my therapist and letting her know immediately and talking to her and telling her about what's going on. That's what helps me and that's what works for me. So those are the things that work for me. We all have to find out what works for us. For you, it could be something different. For you, it could be punching a bag or doing boxing or going to exercise to let off some steam, or even yelling or going outside, or, whatever works for you, whatever is positive that helps you to alleviate the pain that you are feeling. Not turn a blind eye, but to help you to alleviate it so that way you don't have to continue to seep back into that, to dwell into that depressive state, to dwell into that past, to dwell into, oh, was it my fault, and this, that, and the third. And no, what helps you is what will help you. And what helps me is making this change in my life to seek psychological therapy, get my mental stability in order, my mental state, using my affirmations, reading books that talks about emotional health, mental health, spiritual stability, watching Young Pharaoh, people like that I do admire a lot, and also Spiritual Soul, because I watch Spiritual Soul too sometimes, and also Iyanla Vanzant. I have to get back into watching her videos, because Iyanla Vanzant she brings me in tears. And I think the one thing when she said, when we're being left, and I think that was when my friend was leaving me and she didn't no longer want to talk to me anymore. Yeah. We talk now, but we all play a role in this, but it all comes back on us. Everything that I've done has came back on me. No one else but Alizé. And I remember Nino Brown saying, you don't want to be that person that people call fake. That person that people walk around saying, oh, this person, this, that, and the third. Man, because I'm going to tell you right now, it's not the fact of how they say what you should care about what people think, but you should care about what defines you. And what I care about is what defines me. I have to be real to me. And I have to be real no matter what. So that's why I decided that why should I continue to just make these motivational videos? Why don't I just tell y'all what this is? And why I really started this was because this is something that helps me to want to keep moving and become stronger and to be that person that I want to become. These videos motivates me to do more. I know, you know what I'm saying? I understand. But I'm just going to end this video here, and like I said, I may put a video out. It might not be. It was a homework assignment that my therapist wanted me to do, asking me what trust is. So I was looking up the definition of trust, but I think she really wants me to find out what it means to me. So I might be putting a video out about that, or constructive criticism, but not really constructive criticism, just feedback. Okay, that's actually constructive criticism technically, because if a person tells you what you need to hear. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and the title of this video will probably not be my growth period. I don't know what the title of this video is going to be, because I don't know yet, and like I said, I'm going to put it out a little later, but I don't know what I'm going to name the title of this video. But I do know that I was actually, up thinking about that. So I would say if to give you guys anything that you feel that you can do, like I said, work on affirmations. Now I'm saying you're not going to believe these affirmations at first, but work on the affirmations that you have. Like, tell yourself, if you want to use the one that I have, I forgive myself unconditionally. I actually picked that up from Les Brown. So he said, tell yourself that. And I do look in the mirror. I looked in the mirror a couple of nights ago and I told myself that you are not who you were. So when I know that I'm going through a situation, I can tell myself that and talk to myself and I'll say, Alizé, it's okay. It's okay. You're evolving, you're changing, you're growing, you're learning. You are in the process. You're not there yet. But at the same time, you are not this old person. Do not continue to have these same beliefs and thoughts. It's okay. You made mistakes. You're not a bad person. You're not. That's what helps me. Looking in the mirror and telling myself that and telling myself I forgive you unconditionally and saying that I do love you. Like I said, I'm being a friend to myself, but I'm telling myself, yes, I do love you. Now, it may not be something that I believe right away, but at the same time, that is one of the affirmations that I can say I can give to you. Or you can say, I am trustworthy. Okay, that's another affirmation you can use. You can say, I am worthy, I am wanted, where you don't have to feel feel like you're not wanted, because for so many years of my life, I felt like I wasn't wanted. I felt like, not in relationships, but with people in general. I felt like people didn't want to be around me. I always felt like a burden. So that's why I added one of those to my affirmations. I am wanted. When I say I'm sexy and attractive, it's not just me saying I'm the baddest person on the world. Add whatever you want in affirmation to make you feel better, but it's to have confidence. I've always had low self-esteem, low confidence, even with people, even when I like someone. Like I remember I liked this girl so much and she was like, oh my God, I liked her so much, and she was a Libra. And literally it was just so terrible. I had low self-esteem, low confidence. She made me feel like she was in control and wearing the pants in the relationship and I'm supposed to be the stud. And it was just crazy. I was weak. I was like, no, I don't like that. I want to feel like, I am wanted. I'm enough. I am more than enough. And telling yourself these things over and over and over again, eventually the subconscious would start to say, the subconscious does not, like one of someone in one of those Sammy Ingram comments, one of those girls, I don't want to steal her quote, but the subconscious does not have eyes. So whatever you're feeding the subconscious, if you telling yourself you the baddest bee in town, baby, that's what the subconscious gonna think. Girl, I'm the baddest bee in town. So that's what's gonna happen. So that that's my whole thing. So I would say, okay, that's what works. That's what I'm finding what works for me. Also, like I said, my grounding techniques that I'm beginning to use, that my therapist has recommended to me, when it comes to my sound, my sound, hearing, taste, touch, feel, smell, all of those things to bring me back into the present moment. So you can use those by, being aware of where you are. Touch an object, touch your water bottle or something like that. Touch your water bottle, okay? Or you could touch the walls around you to remember, because remember this, what you are experiencing, you're unconsciously aware because you're thinking that it's a past experience. So as soon as you experience something like that, remind yourself that you're in the present moment. You're not there anymore, okay? Remind yourself that. Use those I'm not a psychologist and I'm not a therapist. I do not have a PhD. I'm just saying this is what works for me. Me being able to feel my surroundings and say, okay, I'm here. It's okay. It's okay. Think about what's going on. For example, when I got upset over a certain situation, in that situation I got mad, but I wasn't thinking that these people were not talking mess about me. They were just asking me a question. I want to admit that yes, I was told that I have the hunchback, but my doctor has told me that I don't have a hunchback and it's not in my spine and I don't have any so that's good. It's just the fat there. So when she was throwing blows. She was telling me I was fat. She was like, your weight. And I was telling her, like, I wanted to say, like, I've lost 9 pounds in like last month. I lost 8 pounds. Now I'm losing more weight. So I'm like, my weight's going down, but she's not. I didn't even want to explain. I was like, I'm not even finna talk to you right now. I'm gonna just let you think what you want to think. Okay. Cause I'm trying to get out this doctor's office. So anyway, so So basically, at the moment because I would have back problems and so they told me something that upset me, like my godmother, okay, and my other god brother, but they wasn't saying it to downplay me or talk about me. They were telling me out of, they were giving me a suggestion, because that's what they was suggesting for my back, okay? And I took it the wrong way, and I was thinking because my dad used to call me Hunchback from Notre Dame. Now he was playing, but really that was an effect that it brought me back to, oh, people just want to talk about me, this, that, and the third. So I was, that's how I felt in that time, okay? So I was going back into the past, and my therapist said that maybe they didn't know that's how you feel or felt. They didn't understand that. You have to express how you feel. So when you are in a situation and you're feeling as if though someone is attacking you, take the time to ask yourself if they are. That's something I'm doing now. Are they attacking me? What do you mean by this? And taking it in instead of using it as a negative force or using it as something negative, because maybe it's not, they're not trying to talk down on you, but they're trying to help you. They're trying to let you know, hey, maybe you should look into this. This could be a problem. Or have you ever thought about that? I would think my godmother would make me feel stupid sometimes, but she's not trying to make me feel stupid, but she's trying to get me to realize, like, Alize, you need to change that. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and I'm going to go ahead and drop another video. And like I said, I don't know what's going to be the topic, like the title of this video. So I'm going to think about it, and I'm going to see what I come up with. I'm going to come back and watch it for myself so I can come up with a title. So I hope you enjoyed it. A to the L to the I to the Z to the E, and it's all on me, and you just got your daily dose of Legendary Z. And don't forget, I will be going outside, okay? I've just been chilling. I've been in my room, my tomb in here. I like to call it my room, baby, because I just got everything on the outside. The outside, the inside. But I would say, like, this is my room right here, you know what I'm saying? I watch my little Netflix movies and stuff. Also, I want to recommend, if you haven't seen it, please see Greenleaf on Netflix. That is my show. And if you want to be my Greenleaf buddy, let me know. Peace!